Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Terence from GSMA, heading APAC 5G industry community. Welcome again to join our activity right today. Our topic is more focused on 5G ecosystem, how unlocking opportunity through strategic partnership. So this event, we are very happy to support by Maxis. So this is a virtual workshop. We are very happy that you ask question. Please post your question in the Q&A boxes. As our speaker will stay after their presentation, have to answer your question online or follow up offline. So this workshop also provides simultaneous translation on Mandarin. If you are a Mandarin listener, please select the Chinese channel in the interpretation button in the Zoom menu. Today, we have a very good lineup of speakers from more than 5 markets in APAC, covering 2-hour content. So just look at the agenda. After my very quick opening about 5G overview in the region, we'll have the first speaker from Maxis, who recently launched the 5G Alliance in Malaysia. So they will talk about the main topic today, unlock opportunity through strategic partnership. And then we have the Maxis Alliance partner, Huawei, also the contributor member of APAC 5G industry community. So they will share about industry 4.0 across sector and also the ecosystem development. And then next we have another Maxis Alliance member, which is Ormond Electronics. So they will share about how 5G empower automation with advanced robotics. And then last presentation will be coming from TD Tech, which is a 5G module, CPE, and 5G device maker. So they will share about the connectivity for insights into the world. And after all the presentation, we will have a panel with an alliance leader and ecosystem in the region, including Depper from Thailand, who rolled out the National 5G Alliance, Hong Kong Science and Technology Park, who lead the 5G ecosystem in the Greater Bay Area. And then we also have Maxis again. And then finally, we also have XL Axiata, who have an XCAM Innovation Center in Jakarta, driving the 5G innovation. So let's start. If you don't know GSMA, we are a mobile industry association, represent more than 1,000 members over 200 markets. We work very closely with government, mobile operator, ICT ecosystem, and also adjacent industry enterprise to drive industry program, including 5G adaptation in different sectors. We also bringing the digital leader together every year, running very large industry lead event, MWC at Barcelona, Shanghai, Las Vegas, and also Africa. Last August, we also host Mobile 360 APAC, which is a regional event with IMDA from Singapore. So as of today, 5G commercialization is worldwide. I think the good news is APAC, we have already over 70 market rollout 5G. And then the next phase of 5G market rollout will be India, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Bangladesh. Since there's a huge opportunity in APAC, GSMA work very closely with the member governments and also enterprises to build up this 5G industry community. Our mission is to support industry for digital transformation, acceleration, the adaptation of new technology like 5G and cellular IoT. So in order to focus, we are working together to build this industry interest group in manufacturing, logistics, port transportation, and also healthcare on this year. Next year, we may consider to expand for other sector, which is relevant for APAC. And just last month, we published more case study across different sector and different market. For example, we're working with M1 Singapore and also the Maritime Port Authority on the smart seaport management. And then we also have working with Singtel, Sulim Pharmacy for smart warehouse using 5G. And also working with Indonesian Telkomsel on the smart manufacturing on 5G. So welcome to download these resources in the APAC 5G IC website. I will post in the chat box later, okay? So we have done a lot of interest group activity in the last 12 months, including how 5G transforming airport, seaport, factory, healthcare sector, hospital, etc. So if you miss any of this content, please go to the website of APAC 5G IC to, these resources are on demand available. If you haven't joined our community, welcome to join us because you can access our activity and also receive monthly information. Of course, if you are very outstanding, very innovative or pioneer, we are very happy to give you speaking opportunity or business matching with our buyer and supplier. So I think the APAC 5G, after a year development, we already accumulate more than 700 organizations across different market and different sector. Another good news is we see our partner, our contributor member like Maxis in Malaysia, they're forming the 5G Alliance. And also the Thailand, the Prime Minister announced DEPA, Digital Economy Promotion Agency in Thailand. They are leading the 5G National Alliance. Of course, we also see Indonesia, Singapore, and also Greater Bay Area. They all forming different kind of 5G ecosystem and alliance. So I think GSMA is positioned as a regional alliance to bring in all the local ecosystem together to facilitate collaboration and scaling. Of course, we are also working with global industry alliance. For example, we work with 5G ACIA, which is a alliance developing 5G for manufacturing, led by a lot of Germany manufacturer. And then we also work with 5G AA, which is an autonomous driving 5G for autonomous vehicle using 5G, and also global UTM, which is talking about working together for covering the sky with cellular, so that more drone use case can be supported even beyond visual line of sight. And finally, we also connect to Hollow Medicine Association, which is also a global association, talking about how to make metaverse for healthcare use cases using 5G. So as a GSMA, we hope that we can have a scaling effect by bringing fragmentation into scale, working with different local national ecosystem, bringing the local innovation into regional and global profile, help them to scale up, facilitate engagement and collaboration. So if you are government, mobile operator, or leading industry association or enterprises with a local ecosystem, welcome to work with us together to make 5G flying in the region. So we are planning ahead of whole year activity. So welcome to join us. We are very welcome for your idea. There are already virtual and physical activity ahead. So almost every month we have activity. So looking forward to work with you. Now, let me introduce my first speaker, which is Silver Comer Rajaskaran, head of enterprise product from Maxis Business. So before Silver take over, let me play a video from Maxis. Hi, Silver, over to you.
Thank you, Terence. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys can see my screen.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. Thanks to GSMA for organizing this event. It's definitely a great pleasure working with GSMA, who is one of our alliance partners in bringing out our first ever joint forum that features some of our alliance member partners, and they'll be sharing their stories in this journey so far. We really hope that we can throw some light on the inner workings of the Alliance program and how Maxis has gone about building an ecosystem that we feel is essential to accelerating the 5G adoption rate in the region. That being said, we are aware that the birth of the Alliance program is not new within the regions. We have a lot of progress that we have seen in other part of the region. Later this day, we're going to hear from DEPA, the Digital Economy Promotion Agency from Thailand, as well as GBA, which is the Greater Bay Alliance from Hong Kong Science and Technology Park. And they'll be sharing their points of view as well. For today, I'm thinking, we are going to be sharing the Maxis journey as we embark on the 5G aspects in Malaysia, followed by why we think the key ecosystem is important, as well as the key elements that sort of make up the ecosystem. I would like to take you through, some of the aspects of the Maxis context, as well as the Malaysian perspective, and how to typically go about some kind of a program that relates to an alliance of this sort. And along the way, we will share some learnings that we have gained through our journey so far, and a sneak peek into where we'll be going from here as well. A bit of introduction into Maxis for those who are not familiar. Maxis is truly a local organization. For the past 25 years, Maxis has been serving the needs of all Malaysians and Malaysian businesses, empowering them with technology, innovation, as well as digitalization. This is very important for us because being a truly local company, we always strive to enable our fellow citizens as well as businesses to get ahead with the best possible in terms of technology and solutions. We do have a positioning in terms of how we see Maxis in the market. We're thrilled to be called as the network that is trusted by all Malaysian communities. With the rollout of 5G around the horizon, we want to empower more and more Malaysian Rangkaian. Rangkaian is bahasa meaning networks of a Malaysian community. I mean, that's how we are calling it. And we want to empower more of Malaysian Rangkaians to actually stay ahead and be ahead in their daily lives as well as challenges. Hence, we're very proud to be launching our Rangkaian Kita, Rangkaian Maxis, which essentially means our network and Malaysia's network. A key callouts in terms of offerings to our customers and what we see from Maxis perspective is that we are offering anytime, anyway connectivity for all, whether it is indoors, outdoors, for the purpose of leisure, studies, work, or business. Customer can experience the best 4G, 5G, satellite, and fiber connectivity with Maxis. We also offer the widest range of digital solutions and capabilities for businesses that helps them fulfill their ambitions with end-to-end ICT solutions, as well as the services that come along with it. For customers, they can really power their connected digital lifestyle with the widest range of easy-to-own devices as well. Now to go into a little bit of our journey on 5G. I mean, the Maxis 5G journey started way back in 2019. Our approach was simple. How do we bring the best, widest, and the fastest 5G capability to our customers, whether they are an enterprise or a retail user? And this still pretty much remains true for us today as well. We are currently running collaboration and trials with multiple partners, and this started way back a few years ago, back in 2019, right? We've showcased some key capabilities on 5G with actual applications in local and international levels that allows us to learn and to grow both in terms of capabilities and the market know-how. Today, we remain determined to continue our effort to be 5G ready with a variety of collaboration with key partners. And while Malaysia is still in the process of rolling out 5G, this is an enablement that we see is pretty important in parallel. That said, let me walk you through some of the key collaborations that we've been driving over the last few years. So when we when we started our 5G as well as the alliance discussions, we've been, establishing and using our partnerships with some of the key proof of concept arrangements while the technology is still evolving and the rollout is still in progress in Malaysia. So we've partnered with the Malaysia's #1 car maker Proton, as well as the largest airport operator groups in the world, which is MAHB Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad. If I talk about Proton, they are a national car automaker, and we're working with them to actually bring in a world-class technology solution enabled by 5G. And that really requires us to bring multiple partners together, both locally and globally. This is more important from a business perspective for our end customer, because they are looking at how to improve operational efficiency. How do we how do we deploy a smart manufacturing facility that is truly world-class, and it is built on the back of what they have as a market strategy as well. Our mandate from Proton was very clear. How do we get to build a world-class manufacturing plant, and in a location called Tanjung Maling, which is one of their largest plants in Malaysia. A key area of focus was looking at how to use the technology to drive lower touch points where human interventions are required, and how technology and connectivity really comes together to solve the business problems that they have. An example of an outcome that we were able to deliver is to allow remote collaboration, connecting engineers from other parts of the world, talking to local counterparts as well as partners to address, troubleshoot complex issues via hassle-free augmented reality smart glass that's connected to the 5G network or on a 5G handset. By doing so, we were able to actually reduce or demonstrate a reduction of almost 20 to 50% in terms of downtimes and drive operational efficiencies. And we were able to actually enhance communications in the R&D machinery setup and troubleshooting, right? So that was just an example to quote in terms of how we've been able to explore the proof of concept while 5G is on the rollout right now. And we continue to expand with more and more use cases with some of our partners and customers locally who are really looking to benefit from the capabilities that 5G brings along. Now, if I want to give you a view as to why the partnership ecosystem is pretty essential, I mean, everybody knows that new technology adoption requires a lot of preparation, planning, because it is about introducing new capabilities while the businesses are really looking at transforming their ways of operation and probably driving more business benefits, whether it is internally or even from a customer perspective. So while we were driving those discussions, it's important to actually have a very scalable business plan where you don't actually have only your internal capabilities as a dependency, because you're not going to be able to actually have all the capabilities required within one organization, especially in technologies like 5G, where it's an element of network, application, cloud, infrastructure, and more importantly, business use cases that really come to life. So we had to actually have this as a very important element of success, and the partnership involvement was very crucial for us in our perspective. And this helped us actually by having a perspective that we're going to be expanding capabilities together, and likelihood of actually driving transformation as well as maturity is much better. And this is definitely endorsed by some of the global research houses who have actually been keeping track of 5G rollout around the world. And that said, we continue to work our way in terms of expanding applications across a variety of stakeholders. Through all these experiences and through our own personal interactions with customers, we have figured out that there are many working parts across multiple industries with a variety of scope and technological specifications that come into play. If there's one key learning that we have actually really found to be true since 2019, is that 5G applications within the enterprise context is not just only challenging, but it's also extremely time consuming and requires a lot of alignment across the ecosystem and the customer business as well. So all said and done, we are pretty clear in our belief that we can't do this alone, and we require a set of partners with aligned interest needs to be established in order for us to power through this together. And this is also indicated by the research houses as well. So any sort of 5G breakthrough or digital transformation needs an ecosystem play, because only together we are able to get streamlined, roll out, expand broader scope in terms of offerings, and open communication and trusted engagement is required between partners over an open platform like 5G. We have aligned together towards a common goal. The time to arrive at digital transformation maturity is definitely faster with that in mind. And we actually, decided to move towards investment into key infrastructure together to explore diversity in the offering as well. Okay. So in the Malaysian context, as we look to bring it locally, we said that when we started this journey, we need to have a few key pillars that really drive the need for the ecosystem. So, and I'm pretty sure that most of you on this call are either going to agree with me or probably even, believe that these are pretty important in terms of fundamental building blocks that are required. We wanted to look at how do we really accelerate the speed to market. It's not just only enough for us to actually get something out into the market, but we need to be better, faster, and more innovative. How do you drive future-ready initiatives, right? I mean, investments in capabilities that transform businesses and not for short-term is going to be really future-driven. So we really need to look at, future-ready initiatives that we want to drive. And with the kind of the business context in Malaysia, we needed to definitely look at lowering the barrier of entry for businesses in Malaysia. When businesses are looking at transformation, whether it is digital transformation or adopting 5G, we need to make it easier for them to adopt, and we need to drive the barrier entry to be lower and lower. And finally, we need to be open to limitless possibilities, and co-creation is definitely one of the way for us to drive it, right? So that's an important element for us to really bring together, because we are only looking at how can we drive the right partner offering with the right experts on the right network, right? That allows always connected solutions to be delivered in the market. And within Maxis, we believe in going back to our roots on network and its purposeful applications, where we want to make sure that if we are going to bring 5G to the nation, it's connected always possible. And it applies to the very DNA of the 5G Alliance program that we are championing. So the very building blocks of the 5G Alliance program can be different from different perspectives. And this is the Maxis take on why we looked at the Alliance program requiring different lenses. So we've got a very stellar group of partnerships whom we have brought on board. And the reason you see that, these are the group that we're working with is because we identified the building blocks of the Alliance program that we wanted to drive. So we had very clear perspectives of where we are the experts, where we require partnerships, and where we have no view and we require the partners from the right areas to come through, right? So we identified a series of modular set of building blocks that encompasses a set of partners who in their own right are experts in their field and industry, from system integrators to thought leadership platforms, pretty much like GSMA, all the way to R&D labs across the nation. These building blocks really allow us to work together and explore ways to build in a multitude, in terms of variety of applications from smart manufacturing to smart retail, depending on the needs and the demands of the market that you see. So you see from left to right that there is a very clear view of, how the partnership comes together, what are the value chain ecosystem we see, and the modular building blocks where we see expertise is required from across the ecosystem. And when we go into the market, from a customer perspective, you're now able to curate, identify, and innovate on specific industry-specific applications or use cases that are relevant to them to drive their business benefits, whether it is improving operational efficiency or driving business transformation or just adopting digitalization and be innovative in their market. And while we are doing this, we need to actually have a mechanism where we can actually try this into a scalable business model, and using these real life problems to be solved that can go beyond a proof of concept stage as well. So that's the genesis of how we went about defining and scoping the Alliance program partnership as well. So back in on the 15th of June 2022, we did launch the 5G Alliance program, and we are thrilled to say that we were able to launch it with a series of key founding partners. And they are present here with us today, and their willingness to work and embark with us on this journey into the unknown is really, worth a lot to us. And it means a lot to us that we have those partners who are really close to us, and they're ensuring that their roles are further substantiated with more and more capabilities that they're driving with the engagement with customers and the rest of the ecosystem partners as well. And we hope that through more and more thought-provoking discussions and connections that we're making, we drive the alliance program that can really expand far and wide and beyond the 16 partners that we commenced with back in the year. It almost took us about a year from ideation. For most people, it might feel like, it's a very quick thing. It has come to market, but let me tell you that, the journey towards making this has been much more than 1 year, with multiple 3-month sprints and, running across different businesses, different partners, different geographies to really executing the 5G Alliance launch. And we're extremely proud to have been able to do that. And since launch, and in a couple of months, in less than a couple of months, we've been adding more and more partners. And right now we've got a total of about 23 partners that we've brought on board. Recent additions to partners are Nokia, ZTE, NVIDIA. All of these are stars in terms of their own capability that they drive in their own industry verticals and their expertise as well. But most importantly, from the number of partners, we've also rolled out a lot of live POCs as well as new business capabilities in the market as well. An example is definitely Omron, which we'll talk about later, and definitely have more use cases that we'll be able to share as well. And within the ecosystem, the key alliance partners have really started to establish a communications pipeline, not just with Maxis, but also one another through our own engagement platforms and moderation that we've been able to drive as well. And last but not the least, today definitely marks our first thought leadership program with GSMA, which we definitely are certain that it will open up more opportunities for existing partners, as well as for future partners to explore what's possible within the ecosystem. So Omron is definitely a key partner within the autonomous mobile robots area. The key challenges that we've heard from Omron, who's a partner, is definitely around how do you bring their core business closer to network or a connected ecosystem. We are really thrilled to be working closely with Mr. Lee, who is the managing director of Omron Electronics in Malaysia, and his amazing team to actually showcase the autonomous mobile robots powered by Maxis Business's next generation network. This is one of the solutions that really enables a plant to go live with a fully 4G enabled autonomous AMR system that runs 24/7 with zero downtime as well. Most people understand that manufacturing and IR 4.0 is on the cusp, but actually it is solutions of these sort that really make it possible and bring it to life. As a result, manufacturers are now able to reduce operational costs and improve safety and productivity. And this is definitely one of the gems that I would like to call out and thank our partners, as this is a collaboration which is a first of many for both parties, and we're making inroads in terms of developing and deploying solutions and running the use cases on the Maxis networks. While we are saying that this is still a journey that we are undertaking, and it's not a milestone, we know that we are rather new in developing this ecosystem that will need to thrive. We have a lot to learn from our counterparts within the region and the other people who are in the ecosystem on this platform and beyond. And this actually helps us in growing and diversifying our partners. This is pretty key to expand beyond our horizon in terms of building adjacent or new market segments that we might want to go into. And so far, we are growth hacking our way around it. And while at the same time, we are gaining momentum for both organic and inorganic growth from our members along the way. Okay. And this said, there are definitely overlapping roles that are likely to be there. I mean, you do need to see that the partners might have a specific perspective, they might have a view, and there might be a wide range of solutions that both you or your partner might have while you're trying to set up an ecosystem. So it's pretty important for you to be very certain and be sharp in terms of where we want to focus rather than looking at everything under the sun. Our role in this journey was actually to crystallize these thoughts and bring the best of our knowledge, our customer engagement, and identify the key areas that will really be important as a first step so that the partners and Maxis can start working without any overlapping as well. And along the way, we do see that there's a lot of flow of information that trickles in, right? I mean, we start understanding that there is much more in terms of information, access, visibility that we tend to see, and there is a transparent system that needs to be set up beforehand. There are elements of non-disclosure, IP rights, and so on that will come into play, and it's important to set the boundaries and actually have to define how to go about it, because there are many aspects of this that can possibly go wrong if that doesn't take if that's not taken cognizance of in the early stages. And most importantly, it is important to actually get you to break ice amongst the partners as well and the members as well, because it's one platform, it is an alliance of like minds and like intent as well. So as we look forward, like I mentioned, we are close to about 25 partners right now. We will continue to grow on alliance capabilities and look at more substantiated and sustainable business cases that actually deliver ROI and benefits to our customer businesses. Most importantly, we'll also continue to expand and innovate and the build program via key research institutions that we are partnering and working with as well. So that said, we've done so much, and there's a lot of the journey that we have gone through over the last year and a half, and probably close to about 3 years since we started our 5G journey. The QR code there gives you a preview and a link into what Maxis 5G partnership program is all about. And if you are interested to partner with Maxis, that's one place you can start on. So the right question at this time would be, this is done now, what next? Okay, that brings me to the end of my presentation. If there is any questions, please do post them in the chat message, and we will definitely get back to you. Thanks, you. Terence, over to you.
Yes, thanks, Silver. There are a lot of questions to you already. So thanks again. I think Maxis is a very energetic to drive the 5G alliance in Malaysia, and seeing a lot of good example and partnership already done across different sector with different partner. So now let me introduce the alliance partner of Maxis, Huawei. David Smith, head of ecosystem from Huawei SPO Lab. Over to you, David.
Thanks, Terence. Hang on now. Let's get this working.
Yes.
Very good. Sorry. Now, how does that look?
Okay, excellent.
Very good. Look, really great to be with you today, and great to be sharing the stage with Maxis and all the other great partners that are coming today. I've got a quick presentation talking about Huawei partnerships and ecosystems that we're working with across the APAC region. If we look at the agenda, we're going to talk about digitization. We'll talk about implementing Industry 4.0 using alliances, and then looking at how Huawei supports those ecosystem development. First of all, why are we looking at this? Why are we looking at industrial digitization at all? Because this is a huge, massive opportunity for service providers. This data here from Arthur D. Little shows that there's a $600 billion addressable market opportunity with digitization, industrial digitization. And this is coming from not just basic connectivity, but also by operators taking on the role of offering digital platforms and being able to, target an addressable market there of 330 billion. And also looking at, again, operators coming forward with their own in-house developed solutions. And again, a big opportunity for that in about 72 billion for them. This is across all industries. So no matter what industry you're in, digitization is going to be impacting you. And the operators have a chance to offer you solutions through their partnerships, through their digital ecosystems, and through their own solutions as well. We can also see that the APAC region is going to account for about a third, if not more, of the global market for industrial digitization. Again, if we're looking at, why is this important? How is this going to impact? This is going to impact, driving forward a whole transformation within the industrial enterprises as well as outside them. So the whole idea of IT 2.0 is coming there, and this will be all about delivering a customer-centric organization with a matching transformation of management practices. The telco supports this change for their customers by bringing their reliable and secure infrastructure and networks and experience, and also by delivering end-to-end solutions for industry. And they're also supporting the enterprise with their move to a digital-first mindset. And together, they're delivering a DevOps-driven IT organization within these enterprises. And if we look at, again, how our 5G Alliance is supporting all of this, supporting these transformations and delivering this economic growth for countries. We see 5G as the route of the future for economic growth. And built upon this route is fast, reliable, of low latency, of high bandwidth connectivity, will be the backbone of advanced computing capabilities like AI, like MEC, like cloud. And combined, these are all going to deliver the capabilities for enterprises and for them to drive economic growth in multiple industries, all supported by 5G ecosystems and industry alliances. Here I've mapped some of the industry alliances to their industries, and we can see the 5G Automobile Association here, we can see the 5G Health Association here, we can see the 5G Alliance for Connected Industries and Automation and so on. And all industries will need alliances and their alliances to turn and these alliances in turn will be a portal for telcos to get involved in the industry conversations and for everybody to share the domain knowledge and everybody to speak the same language. Globally, Huawei has worked on many groundbreaking 5G to be implementations with carriers worldwide across all industries. And in retail, we've worked with the likes of Vodafone and True on smart service stations and smart retail, and China Mobile on smart campus solutions. And in healthcare, we're supporting True in the Siriaj world-class 5G smart hospital in Thailand. And we just signed an MOU with the Thai Ministry of Health on 5G empowering healthcare. And then if we look at the maritime industry, we're supporting the digitalization of some of the world's biggest ports, making ports faster, making them more secure, but also making them safer as well. And a manufacturer, we're introducing smart factory solutions for Bosch in Portugal, for Haier in China, and with partners worldwide as well. And in nearly all of these solutions, it should be said that we're delivering these use cases using a dedicated mobile private network. And we'll talk about that in a little bit later. In this ABI State of the 5G report, they demonstrated the benefits of real live use cases in what they call the fourth industrial revolution or Industry 4.0, using examples like predictive maintenance and remote maintenance. And again, Selva was talking in his presentation about the benefits of this remote maintenance as well. And in smart warehouses, we can see the bottom line improvement of up to a 12% profit increase, helped by a 4% OPEX reduction, all by digitization. In smart energy generation, there was a 50% reduction in manual labor and a 40% capacity increase by digitization. And in smart healthcare, there was a 50% decrease in medication errors, again, all by digitization. Again, nearly all of these solutions are using AI. Nearly all of these solutions are using some element of MEC, and nearly all of these solutions were dependent on some element of mobile private networks as well. As alliances are the topic of today's workshop, let's start with why are alliances important to progress the 5G journey. Industry alliances link together industry to carriers and to 5G equipment providers. The alliances allow for a safe forum to exchange ideas and for them to also co-develop solutions. They allow suppliers and service providers to get first-hand feedback on the vertical industry requirements from the people who are going to be using these solutions. They ensure that the final 5G hardware, software, and service solutions really solve industry's most pressing problems. It's a forum to listen to the voice of the stakeholders and design everything from the ground up with those stakeholders in mind. Most alliances represent just one vertical industry here, and it means that they stay focused on the topics that relate to those industry members. And they also give the industry members a direct voice to feed into the standards bodies, which can obviously be crucial. Huawei is driving industry forward and is an active member of more than 360 standard organizations, industry alliances, and open source communities. So Huawei is committed to being a true partner to all these industries through these alliances. We've heard about the 5G, Maxis 5G Alliance from Selva, and also a bit from Terence on the GSMA alliances. And the new founded Thailand 5G Alliance is just another example of a regional and global alliance that Huawei is committed to. And in 2020, Thailand became the first Asian country to launch 5G. And in June this year, the Prime Minister of Thailand announced the formation of the Thailand 5G Alliance to help Thailand become a digital center for the entire ASEAN region. The alliance includes Thailand's Digital Economic Promotion Agency, DEPA, representatives from multiple Thai government agencies, representatives across the private sector, as well as industry associations, and all the carriers in Thailand are part of this alliance as well. And as a founding member, Huawei will also play an important role in supporting this 5G alliance and helping it drive economic growth of Thailand and also within the region as well. And also not just economic growth, but also to drive the quality of life for all the citizens in those regions as well. And looking at how we work with operators as well is a key part of us developing alliances and getting those ecosystems off the ground as well. We often work with the operators by helping introduce their partners and their clients into our cloud capabilities. We support them to get their 5G terminals certified in our systems. And then we build go-to-market partnerships with the telcos and their partners and their enterprise customers, and often using our system integrating partners as well. We support the telco and their partners in developing marketing collateral like white papers and opportunities to showcase their solution in action. And also we can work with introducing partners to our network of global carriers. So once we work with them in one country, we can help them expand across the region. And indeed, we can actually help those companies expand globally as well. Huawei, alongside DEPA, is also a sponsor of the 5G Ecosystem Innovation Center in Thailand, or the EIC for short. This has proven to be a very effective model for 5G industry ecosystem incubation. And so far, we worked with well over 100 partners in co-developing solutions, including also 10 proof of concepts and 30 use cases in there as well, covering a wide range of industry across Thailand and also a wide range of technologies, but all of them with 5G as a core element. The EIC is helping local Thai partners to build solutions to give them exposure and certification, and more importantly, allowing the partners to bring in their own customers to showcase the 5G experience and allow their customers to see a road test of the solution in action. We've worked with many great companies like Phoebos, Sankmad, Neolex, and Touch, and Haywire Medical, and get them implementing their use case solutions within the Siriaj 5G Smart Hospital. And we're also working with DEPA to support EIS to grow not just the Thailand partnerships, but also regional 5G partnerships as well. Announced in May 2022, as Selva said, Malaysia also has a 5G AI innovation hub supported by Maxis, MIMOS, and also by Huawei. The hub will be a test bed to incubate 5G and AI use cases for industry. And the hub will also give end-to-end support for partner recruitment and help them from idea co-creation to certification to local implementation, and then of course to international expansion as well. And all three partners are working to bring our own unique skills in terms of R&D and solution design and commercialization to drive this local and global adoption. As I mentioned, the 5G mobile private networks are a key part of many industrial solutions. And when it comes to 5G MPNs, we see 6 core capabilities of bandwidth, latency, positioning, availability, partner management, network management, and simplified architecture are all driving adoption. This can be consumed in the way of a private LAN or indeed a private WAN, and gives the local operators 3 unique propositions in quality of service assurance, carrier grade security, and local data residency, which is becoming even more important. We've enabled many use cases, digital twins, mixed reality, intelligent video solutions, AGVs and autonomous cars, and also remote controlled machines and many, many more. The number of private networks has actually tripled, and this could be seen in all industries across manufacturing, ports, mining, and has been adopted by many of the industry leaders. The reason for the rapid growth has been the demonstrated benefits that the 5G private networks are bringing. And if we look at it, there was an Omdia report, and they said the successful shift to automation and digitization depends heavily on reliable and secure network connectivity. Mobile private networks can assist enterprise in meeting the connectivity requirements of technologies and use cases that will drive automation and digital transformation. And more specifically, MPNs provide robust coverage, mobility, quality of service, ultra low latency, and data security, which are all critical requirements of digital transformation solutions. And all of this is actually often coming with a lower cost than the installation, say, of fiber into a factory, and indeed providing a lot of advantages even over Wi-Fi in the factory as well. Huawei is working with a number of operators and a number of industrial device partners to bring their new devices and their services to market. And we've seen a rapidly developing mature device ecosystem with the availability of over 70 5G models. And this is all leading to a fall in 5G device pricing. And again, you'll hear more about this from one of our speakers later on. We're also running a number of open labs globally to help accelerate local and regional 5G use cases. If we look at the left side, we're seeing how we work in creating partnerships, working with industry partners and alliances, setting up and running the labs, and also working with local partners to test and get certified so that the solutions will not just run locally, but globally on any Huawei ecosystem. And then on the right side, after helping them launch their local initiatives, we're also helping to support the partners to replicate and build these ecosystems in other countries as well. So we're helping the companies get partnered, we're helping them test in a real life 5G environment. And as a member of the Max's 5G Alliance, and indeed a founding member, we're committed to sharing our deep experience of full system and full cycle ecosystem solution verification, and also about ecosystem management. Huawei is one of Max's strategic partners since the advent of 2G, 3G, 4G, and now in building out the 5G ecosystems. We're supporting them in their always connected promise to connect with any connectivity technology from wireless, 4G, 5G, leased lines, Wi-Fi, and indeed satellite now as well. And we've embarked on collaboration with Maxis and 5G since we signed actually the MOU with them in Mobile World Congress in 2019. And we formed a joint 5G task force with a common objective to support Maxis to achieve the earliest readiness of 5G services. And we're working together to identify potential 5G use cases and to help build partner ecosystems locally. We're here and we want to invite you to come and collaborate with us. We want you to come and work with us and the Huawei and the Maxis and the MIMOS hub together, and to come and see the use cases that we have there. Come and experience the latest tech updates, and also to help come and join the Maxis 5G Alliance. So whether you're a startup or large enterprise, together we can support your digital transformation, and we can help you innovate and collaborate together. So in summary, there's a huge market potential for digital ecosystem growth, especially for manufacturing, for healthcare, for energy, for automation, and all for industries across APAC. The 5G carriers have advantages to seize this ICC market opportunity to offer a fully connected service to their enterprise customers. We can see more digital services alliance and government organizations founded to help nurture these innovations. And we'll see continued growth and demand for private networks driven by their innate advantages. And even more locally proven and more business use cases will speed up the digitization and the enterprise transformation, and will help grow the local economies as well. Huawei and Maxis are building our best-in-class examples of project collaborations and joint innovation centers and technology developments. So we invite you to click on the links that you'll see and also come and join us in this journey. Thanks, Terence, and I look forward to the Q&A.
Thanks, David. Yes, there are some questions to you in the Q&A process already. I think it's good to see Huawei as a ICT leader, how you work in different dimensions across sector, setting up innovation lab, working for different technology. I think 5G is enabler. It must need to work with AI and other technology like robotics. So now, yeah, exactly. Let me introduce our next speaker, which is coming from Ormond Electronic, Mr. Kok Soon Lee, the Managing Director. So here we're going to share how 5G empower automation with advanced robotics. So over to you, Mr. Lee. Please share your slide.
Can you see anything? No.
No, not yet. A back screen right now.
Anything?
No. Yes. Now I can see it. Can you maximize?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay. Swap the display setting, change to yes.
Oops, where is it? Where is it gone? Hang on.
Now it's on a back screen. Okay. Now I can see it. Okay, excellent. Please start.
Okay.
Yes, please start.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me start my presentation. I'm Lee. I'm from Omron Electronics, Malaysia. Today, my topics is about 5G empowering automation, especially related to robotics. Let me briefly tell you my agenda today. Actually, I only have three areas to focus, a bit of introduction, and then solving social issues through automation, as well as why is it that 5G is important to autonomous robotic solutions. A little bit background about Omron. Omron itself, a corporation, is more than 80 years old. We were formed in 1933. I think the name has changed to Omron Corporation in the 90s. So what is our business? If you're not familiar, our business is into various sections, and my section is more towards the industrial automation, which is called IAB. So more than 50% of our business is in this sector, but a lot of people know us in the healthcare, especially related to the pressure monitoring products, blood pressure meter, and of course the other area is social system and electromechanical components. In our social systems, actually a lot of innovation has been done throughout the years. Probably you all guys are not aware. One of them is the the innovation, the first one of the MRT ticketing machine. In 1967, it's using a ticket. Now it's using now the technology has progressed so much. It's using RFID. Is solid state relay and the ATM machine that you know. Actually, a lot of these the innovation is from Omron. Yeah. So from the IAB section, industrial automation, our product portfolio is more towards industrial products. We categorize into 5 categories: input, logic, output, robots, and safety, which is called ILORS in our definition. Input stands for all the sensors, and logic are all the controllers. Outputs are the motors, servo motors, and drives, and robotics, of course, and safety products. And when all these products are combined together in the modern world, when we talk about industrial automation, it's no longer just something that about product itself, but the integration of everything. So in Omron terms, we call it I-automation. I-automation stands for how to integrate everything in together. So integrated of the controller, for example, the integrated servo controller into our PLC, etc., to make things higher speed, intelligence. So when we want to, there's a lot of data we need to collect nowadays because of Industrial 4.0 data collection. We need everything to be more intelligent, right? We want to know what is the predictive system of the machine, so we can in time to do predictive maintenance. All these require intelligent sensors, something machine of more intelligence, so that the whole system of the floor, the factory floor, have some degree, a higher degree of information communication technology, all integrated together. So we call it intelligence. Of course, the last but not least is the interactive part. How can we interact with the robots? How can harmonize between people and machines? So today I would like to highlight more towards the robotics solutions, right? So all these things, actually all these integration of a factory control actually fall into Industrial 4.0, especially the 3 pillars: autonomous robots, system integration, or Internet of Things. There are 9 pillars, but our business is more focused into the 3 I show the star there. So here is I would like to mention more about the robotic solutions. Robotics itself is not new, because Omron actually we took a shortcut. We bought over a company called Adapt back in about 2010. 2015. But the Adapt company was formed in 2010. We bought over this company back then. But this company itself is not new, because it started in 1995. The mobile robot solution has been developed by them through out this year is quite stable in a way. So after taking over, Omron continue to expand the product range. So we have mobile robots from 60 kilo up to 1.5 ton for automotive productions. So the difference between the AGV, a lot of people call AGV, but ours is not called AGV. We call it AMR. And MR stands for automated mobile robots, right? So can I hide this? How can I hide this? Okay. Our products itself is self-navigate, right? We don't use line. So when you use a line, it's called guided vehicles. That's why the name called AGV. AMR stands for mobile robot that is automated, that can avoid obstacles. So in front of the robot, we use the LiDAR, and then the self-mapping, actually, we don't have to do anything. We just take the robot and walk itself in the production floor, and then it will scan the map for you. Then you can later on edit the path, which way to go, which way cannot enter, etc. And then you can use a mobile tablet to control it. And then when you have a fleet, because a mobile robot does not work by itself in many cases, so you may have a whole fleet of robots. Our fleet control can control up to 100 mobile robots at the same time. As you can see, all these mobile robots is all controlled through wireless, right? So right, it's a standard product. We use our standard Wi-Fi, but later I'll explain to you why 5G is important. So the robot itself is kind of dynamic. When it moves, it can avoid obstacles in humans. So this is what it means, AMR. This is what it does. And then the map will show something like this. So all this is controlled through this wireless, right? So next. So now we talk about how we solve problem through automation. Our society itself has many issues. Our society has many issues that we have no other way but using technology to solve. What are the issues that we have? For example, at the moment, we face a lot of issues with environment because of the climate change, right? This is a key driving force why many countries are adopting EV. So EV will start a different trend of automation, especially in the manufacturing sector. We have a huge shortage of labor. In Malaysia, especially, also we have this issue. We have a talent issue, and globalization and deglobalization also create a different requirement for automation. Of course, while all this is happening, it's luckily a lot of technology are also matured in terms of artificial intelligence and robotics. So with all this combined, there's a lot of opportunity in terms of automation as well as communication to be carried out, right? So in Malaysia, there's issues with productivity in terms of GDP per capita, right? Malaysia itself, GDP per capita is relatively low compared to, let's say, Singapore, a smaller country. So in order to increase our GDP, the productivity must increase. At the same time, in Malaysia, many companies are facing ESG problem. So one of the key things about ESG, not just about the environment, but also the forced labor issue. So some of these companies are in the top, the glove company and VS industry, etc. They have encountered such problem before. So how to solve this? There's no other way but automation, right? Of course, lately, rising wages and labor shortage, etc. also big issue to a lot of enterprises. Yeah. So for example, let me talk about a trend in automotive industry. Automotive industry especially relate to semiconductor for automotive, right? These are like, because nowadays with the EV, as I mentioned, climate change, right? The EV, what the demand from EV will be different now because because it's involved in automotive, the cost, the reliability, these two are the policies are very important. So a lot of these automotive electronics maker are being pressed by the automakers to produce a product that is a zero defect. And there are more and more chips are used in the car. That's why is it the chip shortage effect? the car production because there are more chips nowadays in your car than 20 years ago. So in order to avoid lawsuits and errors in the system, the automotive people demand high quality, right? So to have high quality, this human factor must be removed from the production, and therefore companies start to go more and more into things like light out production. That means instead of using human to operate machines or to transport material to the machine, to feed the material, to unload, they want to use robots, mobile robots and manipulator to substitute this. In the semiconductor environment, one of the clean room particle effect is actually from human skin and from bodies. So by removing the human, actually they can increase the quality of the product, right? So you can see nowadays we experience more and more demand. People relate to automotive, they are investing in robotic solutions to the production side. This is a ROI from WD itself. Send this plant, they published this. So they increase labor productivity a lot using robotics. OEE improve lead time reduction, failure rate reduction, etc. Energy consumption. So we talk about ESG. Energy consumption also is something they measure. So across the board, there's a lot of ROI if they know how to study and implement the sound solutions. Another trend you can see is also the market trend also changed from a high volume robotic solution with high volume, right? Now there are more and more demand is a high mix, low volume, right? High volume, low mix versus high mix, low volume. You need a different robotic solutions to something of more flexible that you can communicate easily to get the data and order changes to the system for the robots to perform the job accordingly. Then you have this warehouse. More and more robotics are using. In the past, we did warehouse projects like this, conveyors, but now with more flexibility, you can see more robotic solutions are also adopted. So robotics, they need a lot of communication through Wi-Fi. That's why these are wireless communication. So not just about the navigation, but also the data information transmission. Next, I will show you in our own factory how is this robot is being adopted. This is in the Omron factory in Japan. So we remove because any factory you have transportation of material, right? So Japan have an aging population. So again, this is a social issue. In order to substitute human, mobile robot is used. So a system is installed and then to transport material like this in our line. So over here is also using a mobile robot for the global foundry in Singapore. I think this plant uses about 60 of this kind of robot to feed wafer, 200mm wafer. So to feed and transport this material in and out to the machine, so autonomously. So these are this one has zero human. This is in clean room environment. So next is in Skoda. This plant also using a mobile robot for transportation of material, right? So these are all also done automatically. Yeah. So next, and some companies, they require a manipulator. So we adopt the mobile robot on using a manipulator.
Introducing the mobile manipulator solution from Omron. Designed for safe collaborative work between humans and robots in manufacturing, the mobile manipulator combines Omron's autonomous mobile robot with an Omron TM collaborative arm. With the Omron TM collaborative built-in vision system and landmark navigation, the mobile manipulator is capable of precise inspection, pick and place, sorting, and assembly. Coupled with a mobile robot that maps out optimal routes, detects obstacles, and safely reroutes around them, This solution unleashes the potential of automating new applications in a wide variety of industries. Introducing.
So of course, that just now what I mentioned is all industrial usage, right? But then there is also for non-manufacturing environment, our robot itself is only the engine, the base, right? But on top, you can put a lot of things. For example, you can put, because the COVID, during the COVID period, the peak period, a lot of people are trying to use a UV. They put a UV on top, then therefore the mobile robot itself will do the disinfectant job in the hospital and other services. Let me show you a video about how these services can be applied. So it's not necessary for industry, but also in the commercial side, in the day-to-day service industry, also possible to have these mobile robot solutions. We concentrate only on the mobile robot, but if companies that have interest to expand their services and business into this sector is possible. The big difference, of course, some people will ask, there are some cheaper robot in the market, but very important that all these things, this robot itself, as I mentioned earlier, probably I never talk about this. The robot that we have is compiled to the ISO GIS and NSI safety standard. So these are complied to safety standard by autonomous vehicle. You see. So and then we can carry much higher load. So here is a video that you can see what it can do. This one is a laundry service in a hotel. So using tablet to control, to send the robot to the right destination. Auto charging. So of course, I show you a lot of examples, but why is that? How is the connectivity important to autonomous vehicles? As I mentioned earlier, our robot, you can control up to 100, fleet of 100 robots, right? So if in the manufacturing side, you want to call the robot to come and supply material, right? And there's a lot of information in terms of navigation and order transmission of order and information. If the robot itself on top, you have a lot of other peripheral equipment, example, collaborative robots, cameras and CCTV, or this screen and interactive screen, you have more loading in terms of information transmission on top of the robot navigation requirement. So if you look at the typical Wi-Fi coverage in the factory, is you have to look at the heat map. It's very different. So before you install all the system in the factory, actually you have to make sure all these area are sufficiently covered. Otherwise, there'll be a signal loss, right? So especially in a factory where you have a lot of beams, metal, like warehouse area, a lot of beams and structures, and that also will jeopardize the transmission of signal. This is what we face when we install a 5G, this is wireless, and then with a much big space, you need a lot of switches around this entire area where the robot will travel. So you can see this is a typical heat map of the AMR with respect to Wi-Fi signals. Right? So especially if the robot itself needs to travel very long distance, and not many robot you require in the plant, then the cost to install the Wi-Fi become an issue. The advantage of the 5G is that the bandwidth is much better, latency is good, mobility also good. So that's why it's a lot more suitable for the using 5G to control robot. And also just now you saw the service robots that enter lift, right? So also in the factory, a lot of robots, we have to go through different walls, some doors and walls, right? So the automatic door, they isolate one factory manufacturing site to another, has a lot of walls and doors that it has to go through, right? And the penetration for using Wi-Fi is a lot weaker than this 5G. So that's why why is it that 5G is we prefer to use that, because it's also at the same time a lot predictable, right? The speed no need to mention. You know? So there are a lot of advantages using this 5G network if it's possible. So generally, when we have a good signal, reliable signal, all the activity data, the location, the navigation information, if you have cameras and everything adopted or installed on top, actually you can get it on time, especially on the navigation, right? If sometimes when the robot is not getting the signal, it will stay, and then or the reaction time will be different. So the traffic control will be a lot smoother, optimization of the whole production will be a lot different from a lot better using 5G compared to the Wi-Fi. And therefore, this is one of good reason why very attractive reason why we want this collaboration with Maxis, and it's helping us to solve these social issues. Omron looking towards 2030, there's a lot of social issue that will arise from aging population to climate change and inequality, etc. So therefore, we see a lot of business opportunity in this area. But as I mentioned earlier, the eye automation that we are promoting itself, that we believe needs a lot of communication. This communication typically is wireless. So this collaboration will help us to make things much easier. Yeah. So I want to close my presentation with a Nokia Factory, right? A video. So this factory produces 5G equipment.
Welcome to Nokia Factory, or home of radio, as we call it. This is where we produce 5G equipment, and my name is Erno. Factory is a terrific showcase of our Nokia Digital Automation Cloud, the plug-and-play, industrial-grade digital platform for connectivity and applications. Now let's have a quick overview of the solution.
Here we have a standard industrial facility layout. These dots are your private wireless access points that bring connectivity to the whole area, to all your equipment and applications. This is your local edge server, to which the access points connect. The solution has built-in redundancy. Redundancy means that if one part of the digital platform fails, another part takes over automatically, and there is no service disruption. The system is not dependent on one access point or edge server.
In our factory, redundancy enables that even the most critical applications can be connected wirelessly, like this testing cell in the modular automation concept line.
LTE covers 85% of today's industrial connectivity use cases. The LTE and 5G device ecosystem is standardized too. For extreme capacity and ultra-low latency needs, the upgrade to 5G is easy. Simply install 5G access points, and they work seamlessly in your private wireless network. The local edge server can be upgraded with software.
Digital Automation Cloud increases productivity at our factory. We have connected AIVs to the private wireless network, and now they can run without interruptions, which wasn't the case when connected to Wi-Fi.
So this mobile robot is an Omron
AIVs
version.
enable automated material feed. Our smart buffers send automated requests to the AIVs based on the sensors. We can also call the AIVs to the production line when needed by pressing a button.
Thanks to a fleet manager, the AIVs work in a smart swarm. They are never in each other's way, and they share the workload optimally. The AIVs can also monitor the network capacity and coverage in real time.
So that's I'll cut short my the video here. Basically, in Omron IAB, we in our shaping our future in 2030, we strive to enrich the future of people, industry by innovation and automation. And therefore, any collaboration, any network that can enhance our product application, we welcome. And then we believe this is the more business will be developed in this along this decade in the future. So thank you very much. This is my presentation. If you have any question, please write in the chat box. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Lee. Fantastic. We really see a lot of robotic solution apply in different sectors. Looks fantastic and telling about the differences between 5G and Wi-Fi. So now let me introduce another speaker with a presentation, which is from TD Tech, which is a 5G module CPE device maker. Welcome, Mr. Shaw Liu, Expert Manager from Industrial Development and Public Affairs. Over to you, Shaw.
Okay, thank you, Terence. Thanks for your introduction. And I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, you can start. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shaw Liu from TD Tech. Thanks for the invitation from GSMA, and it's my honor to be here to brief you on the view of TD Tech towards 5G development. TD Tech focuses on communication technology for industrial market. Connectivity for inside into the world, as the title shows, is both our brand concept and the idea of this company. The concept has two keywords, connectivity and insight. Our vision is to bring connectivity to industries following Metcalfe's law. One of the two basic laws of digital industrialization besides Moore's law say that the value of a network is proportional to a square of the number of nodes in the network. We push forward Metcalfe's law and propose its industry variant. We call it the law of network activity. To enable industry to go digital, we innovate product technologies to meet industry customers' requirements in security, intelligence, energy saving, reliability, usability, to connect more for bigger M. We also innovate scenario solutions to ensure strong support for business, information viability, effective operation, lower CAPEX, OPEX, to further increase the value of connectivity, enlarging the coefficient K. We stay customer-centric when working with carriers and customers and government, emergency response, railway, and port, increase the density and intensity of industrial connectivity to facilitate their digital transformation. Focusing on the two factors, the global 5G scale of connections are keeping enlarging. Until the first half of 2022, there are 86 countries covered by 5G network, and over 220 commercial 5G nets have been built, servicing over 700 million users. On the other hand, for the diversified data forms and industry demands, over 1,300 types of terminals are used to supply various scenarios, which power over 40 different industries. It has been estimated that the total economic scale of industry private network has been beyond 10 billion. Such a huge scale verified the considerable potential of promised industry value which could be provided by 5G. China's central government had launched 5G SASAO action plan to facilitate the construction of 5G infrastructure and related technology platforms, as well as to facilitate the 5G applications of various industries. As shown in the half-year reports of China's top 3 operators, the industrial network has already become the core of their business growth. The industrial digitalization business of China Telecom had grown by 19%, reaching 58.9 billion. That of China Mobile had reached 91.1 billion, which increased by 24.6%. The increase of industrial network business of China Unicom had constructed 70% of its new revenues. Over 31% increment of such business can be partly reflected by its success in 5G VPN building and over 8,000 projects of industrial applications. However, among hundreds of industries, which could generate synergies more with 5G, and which could get a better balance between technical innovation and economic as well as social effect. The distribution of top 10 cases awarded by 2021 World 5G Convention might give us some clues. The results suggest that the manufacture and power are hot areas. 5G brings significant improvement to lean operation both for equipment and powers productions. Similarly, for industries which is relatively under process flow, such as logistics, transportation, and finance, 5G could be a vital tool for information sync and make process faster and robust. 5G can work as a frame. When it was fueled by AI, robot, big data, cloud, and other novel technologies, the whole system could be so smart and keen as to process more complex scenarios of agriculture, medical, governance, and so on. On the voyage of 5G development, we're still facing a few challenges. For industry, the main point is that we are in lack of standards and professional testing conditions. For customer, it is hard to adapt 5G tech to scenarios. For vendor, it is to suffer the risk of new technologies. Facing with such challenges, TT Tech insists on the mission and vision to bring connectivity to industries. This company was founded in 2005. In 2011, Chengdu TT Tech, its wholly owned subsidiary, was established for developing and marketing communication solutions for industrial customers. Currently, TT Tech has R&D centers in Beijing, Shanghai, and Chengdu, and more than 2,000 employees. 70% of them are researchers and engineers. The company values technological innovation and spends 20% of its revenues on R&D every year, and it has totally been beyond 10 billion. Such yields a good outcome. We have more than 1,800 valid patents, and more than 90% of them are utility patents. Our business presence in more than 100 countries worldwide, serving 5 million industrial users. In order to better serve all customers, TT Tech has set up 12 regional organizations around the world to stay close to customers. Asian Pacific is one of the most important business regions, and we have a business development office in Thailand. We also allocate specialists in Indonesia, Philippines, and so on for long term. The 4 product lines and 3 R&D centers try their best to make technical breakthroughs and implement customer requirements. TT Tech cooperates with industry partners globally. In Europe, TT Tech has built a strategic partnership with Schindler, one of the world's largest elevator manufacturers based in Switzerland, to develop elevators connection. We have shipped 250,000 elevators connection gateways to more than 13 countries, making elevator operations smarter and safer. We also built Serbia's public managerial network, contributing to a peaceful country. In Asia, the company has constructed public managerial networks and industry networks in 14 countries, including the public managerial networks in Thailand and Indonesia. The network we built in Thailand is the world's first full coverage 3GPP broadband trunking network. It carries MC voice, MC data, and MC video services on one network. As shown in these pictures, it serves tens of thousands of officers, improving working efficiency and help preserving day-to-day public orders. In the industry market, the ubiquitous wireless connectivity, coupled with rapidly growing 5G, AI, big data, and cloud computing technologies, will surely unlock the limitless potential and TDTech is committed to bring connectivity to industries. China Academy of Information and Communication Technology, CAICT, is a national academy majoring in standard and technology research. TDTech cooperated with CAICT and established the 5G Industry Terminal and Application Innovation Center. This center's goal is to develop into a national 5G industry innovation center. It also plays a role in implementing China's Self-Seal Action Plan for 5G applications. Now, it is positioned as a company's open lab, serving both industry partners, product lines, and industry account departments. The center has developed mid and long-term development strategies of 5G plus X. That is, combine 5G technology in industry applications to provide one-stop services, including R&D support, quality test, regulatory and industry certification, standard formulation, ecosystem cooperation, and a training program. The Innovation Center serves as an exchange platform for industry customers and 5G tech vendors. It focuses mainly on terminal and module makers, solution providers, carriers, and industry players. The Innovation Center has qualifications for running CAICT test and China Telecommunication Technology Labs CNAS test. It has established over 10 joint labs with industry associations, operators, industry users, universities, and upstream and downstream business entities along the supply chain. In practice, we had constructed radio situation covering all mainstream 5G frequency bands and fitted a complete frame of technical service support, which matched the demands of standard test we mentioned above. Since its establishment in March 2021, the center has served more than 14 enterprise customers and completed more than 100 test projects on 5G modules, industrial terminals, and solutions. This center has already been an important executive unit of National 5G Self-Seal Action Plan. This center provides a series of professional testing equipments which integrated into a strong testing system. Combined with professional technical service, the performance of terminals, including 5G features, protocol consistency, functions, security, and so on, could be clearly and completely verified in various radio conditions. Such tests could be a key reference for verticals to estimate the actual performance of their industrial terminals in practical scenarios. In general, TDTech has 4 product lines. The device product line provides a full range of devices based on homegrown proprietary OS, including flagship smartphones, tablets, and wearables that ensure customer data safety through trusted connections. Industrial wireless product line has not only complete device pipe cloud end-to-end solutions, but also competitive sub-solutions for scenarios such as emergency response, event security, and integrated communication. IoT product line provides stable and reliable connections for customers, helping them move from connecting people and things to all things connected and intelligent. Emerging business product line have built capabilities in operating system, AI, chip applications, and so on. Cooperating with strong and innovative partners, TDTech has generated R&D cooperation in 12 fields with partners, including open harmony, AI computing, storage, and automotive. We have developed component-based products in corresponding fields. Based on both, TDTech has accumulated remarkable experience and generated deep understanding of industry customer services. The company tries to create scenario-based customer value and build an industry application ecosystem on basic platform. It serves customers with modules and industry terminals. We will keep fulfilling customer needs through fundamental innovation, competitive products, and solutions. Next, we're going to introduce some typical devices, especially the cool devices we build with partners together. Dahua, the top vendors of industrial surveillance, has great power on visual technology. Combined with TDTech's capabilities of connectivity and the test condition, we launched 5G mobile portable camera this year. It is a high-performance portable camera which can be fast deployed in any working land. With embedded AI capabilities, it can achieve objects and actions recognitions, which help manage the working process and guarantee security. Looking forward to the future, we also desire TDTech's capability of connectivity converge with the professional capabilities in more areas with more powerful partners. Then the 5G CPE Max 3 is an industry-class CPE. It supports IP65 resistant -40 to 15.5 centigrade working temperature, which enable complex conditions of applications, including FWA, port, factory, mine, and so on. As for its signal performance, it supports 5G and Wi-Fi 6 with high-gain antennas, which expand 30% coverage than conventional devices, enabling high reliable connections. The next is 5G Smart Body-worn camera, which is the first body-worn camera supporting 5G technology in the world. It contains 5G Smart chip for ultra-high-speed experience, enabling online real-time command. With serious accreditation, security, and reliability certifications, it can be used widely in different areas, including public management, smart city, and smart factory, and so on. With Android-based open platform, its user experience can be smarter and keeping updated. We hope our products, solutions, and innovation centers could be bridges of cooperations. We sincerely welcome partners from anywhere step on these bridges and contribute to the development of 5G ecosystem together with us. That's all of my content. Thanks for your attention. If there's any questions, please feel free to type it in the box. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think a very good presentation to know about what TD Tech is doing. A lot of interesting use cases. So yes, there are already some questions in the Q&A boxes to you. Please help to respond. Sorry for the attendance. We have a little bit overrun. I think the panel we will start now. You may expect we will have 5 to 10 minute overrun, but hopefully you can still stay with us and enjoy the panel. So right now, let me introduce the panelists one by one. First, let me introduce Dr. Supakon Sihitrai, the EVP of DEPA, who is leading the National 5G Alliance in Thailand. Hi, Supakon. Let me please introduce yourself and also let us know more about DEPA. Let me share your slide.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Terence. Hi, everyone. Yep, so my name is Supakon and I work for the Thailand Digital Economy Promotion Agency. So we are quite a new agency, about 4 years old. And basically, we were established together with the Digital Economy and Society Act. And our goal or our mission is to promote the digital transformation in various sectors in Thailand, of course, including 5G industry. And well, this picture basically shows what we do. It captures what we do for the country. So basically, the center of the picture is digital transformation, and our target group that we work with are basically the SMEs in Thailand, and also not only limited to SMEs, we also work for the community and other industries such as agriculture, manufacturing, and service industry. Then we also not only promoting the industry, but we also work with manpower development. So we work with different groups of people from the new graduates, helping them with digital skills so they have better opportunities in getting jobs with the current situation. All the way to the people in the workforce and also the leaders in the organizations like the CEOs, where we help give them or expand their experience in the digital transformation so they can, of course, help or lead their digital transformation in their organizations. On the left-hand side, we also promote digital startups, especially in these 6 industries, fintech, edutech, agritech, travel tech, health tech, and industry tech. And on the right-hand side, we also the main organization driving smart city promotion in Thailand. So we work as the secretariat of the National Smart City Steering Committee to promote smart cities. And I just like highlight one project in the next slide. So this is a project that we are responsible to provide a digital ecosystem for the country. Is situated in the Eastern Economic Corridor or eastern part of Bangkok in Thailand. And we provide a space of almost 100,000 square meters for startups to test their solutions together with their our customers like SMEs and people from the industries. And also we invite tech leaders or international tech providers to come and join us in this area. So that's a quick introduction about DEPA. Thank you, Terence. Back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Supakon. Now let me introduce the next speaker, next panelist, Peter Mok, head of Greater Bay Area at Hong Kong Science and Technology Park. So Greater Bay Area is an area covering 11 cities, including Hong Kong, Macau, and Shenzhen, and also 7 more cities in Guangdong province. So over to you, Peter Mok. Could you quickly introduce yourself?
Okay, thanks, Terence. May I introduce a little bit about Hong Kong Science Park? We are a statutory body in Hong Kong with 20 years of experience. Very happily, this year we actually celebrate our 20th anniversary. So I'd like to share with you a short video so that you can take a look at who we are, what we're doing.
In Hong Kong, we live and breathe ingenuity. Nothing can hold us back. We build this city not just on height and ambition, but also on a future we envision. If we can't go out, we go up. And if we can't go up, we find a way through. We grow business, and we also grow life. We don't just embrace culture, we experience it in a new light. Here we're always innovating, not only for Hong Kong, but also for the Greater Bay Area and for the world. We've been propelling success for 20 years, and the best is yet to come. Innovation starts here.
Thank you. So now let me introduce another panelist, Sheriff Methodus, the Group Head VP, Enterprise Product and Marketing from XL Axiata. So Sheriff, can you quickly introduce yourself and what you are doing?
Thanks, Terence. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Hello all. Hope all is good and healthy. Excited to be here as a panelist to discuss and grow this ecosystem together. First of all, I'll introduce XL Axiata. We are part of Axiata Group in Indonesia. We have around 60 million subscribers as of now, with coverage of 96% population in Indonesia. In recent time, we've also acquired two companies. LinkNet as one of the leading fixed broadband company in Indonesia, as well as HyperNet, to further equip our business solutions. And now on the left-hand side is actually what we are doing, what we call XCamp, is an incubation lab. Is the first lab actually certified by GSMA in Southeast Asia. What we are doing in XCamp is mainly cultivating use cases, especially for new technologies, in IoT as well as 5G. It includes market education. We invite businesses as well there to incubate together with us. We invite them as well to co-develop solutions with us, and we have a lab collaboration, let's say facilities there as well. Our aim, especially in XL Axiata Business Solutions, is actually to provide integrated ICT solutions for enterprise segment in Indonesia. Now, if you will, Terence, to play some video from our side. Yeah.
Kita selalu ingin meraih hidup yang lebih baik. Menempuh perjalanan panjang untuk menemukan teknologi yang membuat hidup kita lebih mudah. Kita terus bertukar pengetahuan, ide brilian, serta inovasi untuk selalu terhubung, menghapus berbagai keterbatasan dalam kehidupan. Sebagai inovator yang selalu menghadirkan teknologi terpercaya untuk jutaan orang di negeri ini, XL Axiata siap menuju era teknologi dengan berjuta kemungkinan. Teknologi 5G yang akan membawa perubahan besar dan meningkatkan kualitas hidup kita. Melalui kombinasi bandwidth besar dan latensi rendah dari jaringan 5G, tercipta otomatisasi yang akan membuka banyak inovasi baru dalam berbagai sisi kehidupan. Inilah teknologi hebat yang membuat segalanya dapat terhubung secara real time, memberi kita kemudahan untuk mengeksplorasi dunia dengan banyak cara baru yang tak pernah terbayang sebelumnya. XL Axiata siap berinovasi bersama Anda dengan menghadirkan pengalaman 5G terbaik untuk tinggalkan semua batasan dan menaklukkan ketidakmungkinan. XL Axiata, bersama 5G lebih baik.
Yep, that's the introduction. Thank you, Terence.
Thank you. So last but not least, let me introduce Marvin Leon, the head of IoT and Solution Architect from Maxis. Over to you, Marvin. Maybe you have also a quick introduction yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Terence. The good part about this is that my colleague Selva has introduced the Maxis business to everyone, so I don't have to repeat myself. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, everyone, wherever you are. My name is Marvin. I have been in the telecom industry for 17 years and it's counting. My work experience encompasses leadership roles, practice lead, business development, strategy for network and spectrum, product management, and network operations. I'm currently the practice lead for 5G, IoT, and private network in Maxis Enterprise Practices, which I'm very proud of because we are the leading converged solution provider in Malaysia. At the same time, also take on my additional role as the lead for IoT and solution architect. Happy to take questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So let's start the panel discussion. I prepare a few questions for all of you. So since 5G is a huge investment from a lot of mobile operator in a lot of market, as you see, there are a lot of rollout of 5G. And there are also 5G is developed for not only for a consumer use case in a mobile phone scenario. So I think you guys are all driving 5G alliance in different market or ecosystem. So just want to hear from you guys any challenge and learning or perspective when you drive 5G ecosystem development, any innovation, how industry adopt 5G, any status or any learning can share with us. Maybe we'll start from Marvin.
Yeah, thanks, Terence. So for Maxis, our point of view is that a demonstration of a pilot project, it's a good way to show the end users, our customers, what are the benefits of adopting 5G. But we also have encountered what's very crucial in our journey of understanding is that education is very important, right? Educating our customers that the 5G network is just one part of the ecosystem. It's not the be-all and all. So if you consider the 5G as the life leg, right? But it's crucially important to ensure the appliances or the application, the technology being the right leg, are able to connect and function optimally so that the whole solution can run as fast as the network is able to support. So that's what we have learned starting from a journey in 2019 all the way until present time.
Thank you, Marvin. So Yeah, I think Hong Kong Science Technology Park have a lot of experience since you guys driving 5G for Hong Kong a few years. Could you also share from us, Peter, what is the learning when you do developing the ecosystem?
Actually, 5G is a very important area that we are promoting. But apart from that, we're venturing into different technology sectors, and we find that there's one very commonality in terms of promoting technology and innovation, which is the development, the engagement of a larger ecosystem of different stakeholders to drive for any sort of innovation technology. And also, we also observe that the convergence of different technology into different traditional industry application, that would be very complicated. And 5G is actually in the middle, right in the middle as an infrastructure. So in order to ensure a good demonstration of innovation technology system to help 5G and related development, what we're trying to do is to build a very robust ecosystems, including not just carriers, corporates, and startups, but also capital, investment people, government, different industries, as well as universities and research institutes. So what we're trying to bridge is to bridge the gap from basic research to translational research, and from the solutions, startup solutions, to commercialization. And also we try to influence the government policy making, getting all these different stakeholders together in order to build, to push 5G, but not just 5G, but also other applications. And as you all understand, and other speakers also mentioned, the application of 5G in the various industries, including retailing, finance and banking, advanced manufacturing, transport, logistics, is actually engaging different industries as well as different government agencies. In terms of challenges, there could be a lot of regulatory and compliance legacy in these different areas. So I think a bigger ecosystem would be important as a practice to develop 5G. So it's not just 5G, but a very extended stakeholder ecosystem is needed.
Yeah, Peter, I see the complexity about driving 5G because there are so many different stakeholders, right, across sector, across end to end, right? So yeah, I'm also interested from Indonesia, Sheriff. What's your point of view when I think you started the IoT journey a few years ago. Now Indonesia also start 5G this year. So what is your experience on driving the ecosystem?
Yeah, so I think from my side, or let's say Indonesia side, there are a couple of things, three things if I can summarize on this 5G, let's say deployment, right? Number one is the regulations, and this is very active, very important, and an active role from the government also is important for us to kind of grow this ecosystem. I think from a consumer perspective, what the government is saying that 5G will become not spotty like what we have today, probably in 2025 in Indonesia, 2024, 2025. Now, looking at that, then, as an operator and also as stakeholders that will cultivate this, let's say, technology, then we need to find the use cases, right? And we've been working with 13 or more universities here in Indonesia, not only from universities, but also we work with industries. We pick and choose, for Excel specifically, we pick and choose certain industry to be the pilot in 5G. For example, we have chosen mining as one of the implementation for 5G. And we know that in mining, the importance of, let's say, the hauling efficiency and the hauling productivity, so that, it's not broken in the middle of, let's say, the transport. It will benefit around 130,000 when we discuss this with our mining customers, 130,000 per hour. Let's say deficit that you can save if there is no breakdowns in the middle of that process, which is substantial. So we are trying to pick and choose which industry that we will let's say, push it first, maybe not necessarily consumers part as of now. It's a business side for now. And we pick mining, transport and logistics, as well as manufacturing as what our colleagues have mentioned as well in from Axis, right? So I think that's the gist of what's happening here in Indonesia. Communication, regulation, cultivating it with the ecosystem. That's why we have XCamp in building that business ecosystem together, so that everyone will know, and this benefit of 5G will be kind of dispersed to multiple industry sector. It will start from a small, or let's say a cherry-picked industry for now, for Excel. But I think moving forward, everyone should benefit from this technology. That's the update, Terence.
Thanks, Sheriff. I think it's very good to see about the focus. I think, yes, 5G is very powerful, but focus to certain sector, to building the ecosystem, driving government, to implement right policy. I think it really makes sense. So Supercon, you are from the government perspective, right? You are in the agency side. So how do you see from your side when you start taking a role from Prime Minister, right, to drive the National 5G Alliance in Thailand? I think it's a very strong ambition. So anything you can share with us about 5G ecosystem development?
Yes,
in
Terence,
Thailand?
Well, since rolling out 5G service in Thailand at the end of December, at the end of 2020, so in the country has the coverage of about 95% now, and all the frequency bands available. But I think we're only starting to see industry use cases, in manufacturing mostly, and also we're seeing some in logistics. But so there's a need to help promoting more industry use cases, and we've set up this 5G Alliance in Thailand to work together, between of course the government side as a promoter, and also the regulator from another agency, NBTC, to work together with the operators and the vendors, and also the system integrators. So we see the importance of working together to drive more use cases. So that's what we are trying to do now.
I see. So yeah, I think Thailand is a really a very good example for a lot of us, especially in ASEAN country, because you guys have experience for more than 2 years on 5G since 2020, right? So next question I would like to ask is about maturity and scalability, right? I think a lot of people looking forward when 5G become more mature. We did see a lot of cases so far in different industry, but regarding to the scalability of 5G, I would like to ask, especially from Peter Mok, and also from the Science Park, and also Dr. Supercon from DEPA. Since you have 2 years of 5G experience already, so what do you see about is the industry willing to adopt 5G and making it scale? Or still in a lot of pilot use cases? And what do you think about government or agency perspective? What kind of policy program that would be necessary to motivate people to adopt 5G in scale? Maybe Dr. Supercon first. Yeah, this time you're around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks, Terence. I'll take it. Basically, as I mentioned earlier, that we are struggling, or having challenges in terms of promoting more industry use cases. But I think what is stopping the industry from adopting 5G now is the investment cost. And so what the government can do to help or promote this is, of course, to provide perhaps more incentives in different forms. And also, of course, in terms of manpower as well, because we are we are in shortage of network engineers, or to help support different industries. Of course, is the network engineers in the operator side, but on the industry side is probably lacking there. So I would say incentives and manpower, those are the two key ones to drive.
I see. I know Thailand already have some incentive for factory in adopting Industry 4.0, right? With some taxation motive incentive. Yeah, I think it's good to know more detail if looking forward how Thailand government, what kind of policy being implemented. So over to you, Peter. How about Hong Kong and Greater Bay Area?
Yeah, in terms of Hong Kong, a few years ago, the government has already actually announced its smart city blueprint. So 5G will be one of the very key important infrastructure that the government is encouraging the private sector to invest. But Hong Kong being a very mature market in terms of telecommunications to support various industry, including banking, finance. So the company is very keen. So we can see that the rollout of 5G services is actually gaining momentum. So I think we're quite positive in that sense. But as Dr. Subakar said, also the supply of manpower, technology-related people. As you know, Hong Kong is a financial center. All the best graduates will try to get into banks, right? Nobody study engineer, etc. So I mean, we do face that problems. In terms of GBA or China in large, you can see that recently the number of 5G base station in the whole China has already exceeded 1.96 million. So I mean, they're actually gaining the momentum, and it's quite a government drive sort of policy to build that. And also in terms of subscriber, the number of subscribers is actually reaching 400 million already. So we already get the momentum. So as some of the other speakers mentioned, that globally they have 740 million subscriber. So 400 of them million are actually from China. So we can start to see the scale. With the scale, I mean, the rest will be relatively easier. But having said that, the application is not just telephones, not just the daily consumer use, but also application in different sectors, transportation, advanced manufacturing. All of these are important. And in a recent survey by the Industrial Internet Association in China, it seems that the pickup rate, even for SME, we see positive growth on year-on-year basis. So I think we have reason to be a bit more positive on the future development of the recent future development of 5G, and is clearly stipulated in various government blueprints to provide that. But I think the challenges would be the investment. The global economy is a little bit challenging in this few years' time. So in terms of investment, in terms of the business adoption of new technology, new investment, then we could see some challenges there. I think we need to work more closely together in order to actually maximize the business opportunities. I think today the topic is very important. It's all about alliance. We eliminate all these national boundaries and try to get different industry, different participants to work together in order to create more synergy. I think that's the most important point.
Thank you, Peter. I think your message is very positive and promising, especially regarding to the China development. I hope that the scale will drive down a lot of costs, right? And also making impact to the global, of course. I think I also have one more question, or also the last question I would like to ask, because we are all from different market, right? But 5G, suppose it's an interoperable technology. It can work in everywhere, right? Just like roaming 2G up to 4G, right? You can bring the devices everywhere. So I would really like to ask about all of you about a question. How we can work together to, as different market, right? How their synergy can be found between all of us? Because I don't really I think I heard a lot of challenge mentioned about, oh, if I'm a 5G developer, when I develop something, I need to test everywhere, for example, right? This is very inefficient because different market, different stakeholder, different people. And the reason why GSMA forming the APAC 5G industry community is also want to bring you guys together, right? As a platform to facilitate collaboration so that we can, find synergy from each other and then help, those very outstanding innovators to find opportunity everywhere. I think that will be ultimately our purpose. So what from your point of view, from your experience or from or any advice as a yourself or as a GSMA, how we can find synergy or what way we should work together besides running this workshop, doing case study, what else we can do in order to facilitate collaboration and scaling? Any suggestion? It's a very open question. Marvin, maybe you start. I know you unmute.
Thanks, Terence. Well, from our point of view, right, addressing the knowledge gap is very crucial right now because there's a lot of hype around 5G. So really, what we are saying is that we need to close the gap between the marketing view of 5G and what's important is really related back to the actual business needs and outcomes, right? So this forum that we're having today is a good starting point to inculcate the business outcomes that 5G can bring about in the practical sense, rather than the headline numbers, right? Which is quite important. One of the main reasons that Maxis we formed the 5G Alliance program in the first place, right? Because we acknowledge that the network by itself is a network by itself, right? You need something to connect it to operate optimally, right? And ultimately that translates to a business outcome. So the 5G Alliance, it's really a place for our stakeholders, our clients, or even our partners, where to start to learn from each other, share the guiding principle, and from there, to plan out their future 5G roadmap. Because at the end of the day, an ecosystem is an ecosystem of everything. As I like to call it, it's Internet of Things, right? To put it bluntly, right? And from an equation perspective, network and the ecosystem is 1 + 1 = 3. So that's what we, Maxis says the objective we have formed 5G Alliance is just for that, to extract more value out just from a pure connectivity play. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Marvin. So maybe Peter, from your point of view, how do you see the Greater Bay Area can supporting the other part of the region, to bring 5G success?
Yeah, I think I will echo what Marvin just said, right? We have talked about a lot in terms of investment in the supply side, invested in the system, invested in network and policy, which is important. Without that, nothing can be done. But on the other hand, we also need to work with the buy side, the corporates, SME, no matter whatever companies. We need to take their problem statement, what they are their pain points, and take it directly to the startup, scale-ups, or the new solution providers, so that we can match the supply and demand. From there, I think we can build an actual business case with a success story, success. Then it will affect the whole industry. I think we need to work on both vectors. And in terms of cooperation, I think, as I mentioned before, we need to eliminate all the national boundaries. I think what we can do is to, like this event, we can, if we have, say, in our own region, we have some good business opportunities, good events, then we can invite other members to join us, and they can also provide, say, for example, invitation to solution providers, startups, scale-ups to come to say the Greater Bay Area to join our program, to meet our customers. I think that is important. In terms of technology, I do believe that there's no national boundary. If we would like to work together, then we can do something together. I think that's very important. Ultimately, I think for technologies, the ultimate goal is to help the society, the whole world, irrespective of the national boundaries. I think that's a very important approach, I think I would propose.
Yeah. So Sheriff and Supercon, anything to add about cross-market collaboration?
Yeah, I think what Marvin and Peter says it all, right? I think when business opportunity meet, preparedness of the solutions, that's where, it kind of jive together and then go to market with desired solutions for the customers. So whether it's 5G, whether it's 6G, 7G, yeah, it doesn't really matter. The one that matters is whether we answer the customer's problem. And with that, if we finally can answer and can have solutions with that, be it through ICT solutions provider, be it through telecommunication provider, if we can answer that problem, then the growth and the scale will anchor itself to that answering the problem of the customers. So yeah, let's say from Excel side, from Indonesia, we are trying to anchor it into the mining industry for now, logistics and also the ports, right? So those three things that we hope, by anchoring to that, answering some of their problems, then, the scalability and the preparedness of this community will be better. That's from our side. Thank you.
Yes. So Supercon, anything to add finally?
Yeah, yeah, of course, I agree with all being said by Marvin, Peter, and Sheriff. But also, from the government point of view, we also provide a platform where we can share together. In Thailand, we run this 5G summit. Hopefully, we can do it annually. So this will provide a platform where everyone can join and share. So I think that will add to the business side of things as well. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Since you guys all mentioned different activity, so I think let me share you our calendar. I think let me thanks again for all the panelists first. I think it's really good to have different market leaders together to share about their 5G latest update and also their vision. Strategy. I think we don't have much time for very deep dive, honestly, but definitely we are very happy to take question. Please put your question in the Q&A boxes. We will not close the section. We will give 5 minutes for our panelists to look at the question in the Q&A boxes. So if you still have question, welcome to post in the Q&A boxes. Thank you. So I think one point I also want to highlight about is MNC, right? A lot of MNC actually they have a factory in more than one market. They have retail more than one market, right? So I think there are a lot of a lot of collaboration will make them more simple, easier. If I have a retail in Hong Kong, Singapore, Thailand, I expect the seamless services, right, everywhere. So I definitely would look for how cross market collaboration can facilitate this happen easier, quicker, right? I think this is really something when we move to next level of 5G development for cross sector, cross market, it will be a lot of opportunity. So now let me show you our next activity. Okay, let me share. Okay, here. So I think after this activity, after this workshop today, our next we will planning to have a event in Bangkok. I think Supercon already mentioned there will be a MBBF event organized by Huawei in Bangkok. So there will be some 5G exhibition there. And then on November, we also have another virtual event, which is very focused deep dive on manufacturing. So we are looking forward to work with 5G ACIA on the workshop. So if you are very interested on how 5G deep dive for manufacturing, welcome to join us. And then for there's still a lot of opportunity for participation, including there are hot event in Malaysia, organized by my IoT Association. So I will urge any contributor member, if you have any 5G relevant activity, let me know. I can put it into the calendar to promote so that we can facilitate more networking or more sharing. Okay. So that's I want to share all of you today. Thanks again for all the speaker, all the attendance. I will let the session to end on 3 minutes later. So if there are still questions, welcome to post in the Q&A boxes. And we will close the section in 3 minutes later. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. See you. Bye.
Thank you.